Hey, what's up? It's Patrick. It's Rose via Fire. And I pray this message reaches who it needs to reach. So let's talk about boarding schools in Uganda. Spiritual story time. So this is a story time of like when I used to go to boarding schools in Uganda, bro. That's because this is where I grew up. You know what I'm saying? For those of you who don't know my life story, I grew up in Uganda, bro. That's where I was raised up. That's where I grew up. That's where I went to my earlier years of school. That's where I went, and we used to have these boarding schools, bro. Straight nightmare, bro. Yo, them boarding schools was a form of prison. Okay, those boarding schools was a form of prison. Now, I left Uganda like years ago, bro. You know what I'm saying? God got me out of there, bro. I got on a plane, came to America, but I still gotta tell this story time, bro, because those boarding schools was ridiculous, bro. You know what I'm saying? Man, where do I even start, bro? I don't even know where to start, bro. Bruh, them boarding schools was a horror film, bro. Like an actual real life horror movie. Now, ever since I left, I don't know if it got better because years have passed by. And you know when years pass by, they be trying to fix some of these problems. Maybe, I'm not sure. Maybe they patched the map. They patched the problem. I am not sure if they patched the map yet, bro. But that stuff was terrible, bro. Yo, where do you even start, bro? I'm dying, bro. I'm dying laughing, bro, because that stuff was, bro. That stuff was brutality, bro. Yo, why does God, bro? Why does why does God create things like this, bro? Have you ever wondered some of this stuff? Why does God create some of the most crazy, ridiculous environments of all time? Have you ever asked God that, bro? Be real with yourself. Why does God create such a struggle and such a poverty or such an environment of suffering like this? Like, how did God, have y'all ever thought about that? How did God think of creating like these bad environments? I'm talking about like they look terrible. You suffering, you poor, you miserable. You know, I'm not going to say like I was miserable all the time because I did have some friends growing up, so we had fun. But there was those situations that was terrible. Have you ever grown up in such a bad environment under bad circumstances to where as though you feel as though, how did God think of this? Like, how did God think of creating this map? Like, how is God in heaven, streets of gold and everything, but he thought of creating something so terrible on earth? Like, how can God's mind create something so beautiful and something so terrible at the same time? He's a legend. He's actually like, he's the greatest, bruh. Because there's no way a regular person could create something so beautiful such as heaven, and yet come when it comes to earth, he creates some places so terrible on earth. You have to be a legend. You have to be a mastermind, bro. Ain't no way, bruh. You got to be a mastermind to think of some neighborhood so terrible and some circumstances so bad it feel like a horror film in real life. In real life. He created the streets of gold, and then he created some of the worst environments on earth, some of the worst circumstances on earth. See, I see why some people don't believe in God is because they like, look at my condition is so bad. Like, how can God even think of creating something like this? Some people don't believe in God based off of that reason alone. It's because they feel as though the environment they grew up is so bad, they they don't even credit God for creating that. They don't think God created that. Like, how can God create that? But let me tell you something. God created that, bro. God created that terrible environment. God created that because God creates the good and the bad. God creates good and evil. God thought of the greatest things of all time and the worst things of all time because God created everything. So I'm just here to encourage you that that terrible environment, that terrible place that you grew up in. Some of you grew up in some nightmare type environments. God created that. You know what I'm saying? So be encouraged. God created that. God could still reach you and God could still get you out of there. God could still help you. Look at me. How did God even remember my name when I grew up in a small village in Uganda? When I grew up in a small village in Africa, and God was like, I see you. I'm going to recruit you and you're going to work for my kingdom. How does God know that I even exist in a small village in the middle of nowhere? I thought this map was invincible. I thought nobody could even comprehend this map that I was born on, bruh. I thought this Call of Duty map was forbidden. I thought it was non-existent. I thought this card map was invincible to the human eye. But God's eyes is not human though. God's eyes is God's eyes, bro. You know, he sees you. God sees you, irregardless of if you're in a small village in the middle of nowhere. God sees you, bro. Irregardless if you're in a bad environment out there, God sees you, bro. You know, but let me just get into explaining some of these boarding schools in Uganda, bro. Man, these schools was brutal, man. Like, we was getting beaten, bro, with like sticks. Now, when you think of sticks, how do you even translate this stuff? You know what I'm saying? In the English language, bro. How do you even translate? Because when you say somebody's beating you with sticks, you're going to be like, oh, it's nothing. No, bro, this was different. This was straight brutality, bro. This was straight brutality. I remember one time, bro. I think we had an assignment, and when you don't get the pass mark, that's what you call it. Let's say in order to pass the test, you gotta get 70%. And let's say you don't pass it, you get beaten with sticks, bro. But look, though, this is not no regular stick. Let me tell you something. One day I skipped school because I'm like, bro, I'm gonna get whooped. I'm gonna get whooped. Okay? So I skipped school. I ain't trying to get beaten. I was hiding in the bush in the village. Keep in mind, this was like a good distance. Like, how do I even measure the distance? It wasn't a mile away, that's for sure. That I would be exaggerating. But it was like a long, long distance away. It was a good distance. Like, you could walk. Yeah, let me just put it in walking terms. You could, in order to reach the distance of the school from the bush I was hiding in, it would be, and this bush was connected to the house I was staying in at that point in my life, because the school was next to my house, and it was in walking distance, and I was hiding in the bush of the house because I couldn't go back home. I think I couldn't go back into the house because they're gonna be like, why you cutting class? And then I couldn't go back to class because I was gonna get beaten. So I was in the middle of the situation. I was hiding in the bush, right? And let me tell you something, bruh. Somebody got whooped so hard. I heard it all the way in the bush. Keep in mind, like, it would take you, like, in order to walk that distance from the bush to the school, that would be like probably 5 minutes of walking. That's a long distance. That's a pretty long distance. 3 to 5 minutes. Somebody got whooped so hard, I heard it all the way in the bush, bro. I'm like, hey, I'm glad I cut. I'm glad I cut. Hey, I'm glad I cut school today. You know what I'm saying? I say I'm glad I cut school today for real. Hey, bro, I'm thinking about cutting school tomorrow again. Because at this point, bro, we was getting whooped so bad multiple times, bro. Straight slavery, bro. Straight slavery. The teachers was allowed to beat you, bro. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't just getting whooped once. Sometimes you will get whooped like 7 times, 17 times, 20 times. You know what I'm saying? They literally whoop your butt, bro. And if you hear it from a long distance away and you still hear the sound of somebody getting whooped, you do not want to be in that situation. And then if we failed the class, they used to make us do like upside down push-ups. Bro, they do upside down push-ups and they make you hold the upside down push-up against the wall. So you basically put your hands on the floor and then you put your legs up on the wall. It's like an upside down push-up and they make you hold that. I forget how long you have to hold it for, maybe 17 minutes or some stuff. And if your hands start shaking, you'll get beaten, bro. I'm like, what is this? What is this slavery stuff, man? These was black people. These was black teachers. The black teachers was almost like the slave masters now. Straight brutality. And let's not even talk about the boarding schools. Because these was like the primary schools now. Now we going into the boarding school, bro. Man, they make you wake up. Was it like 4 a.m. in the morning or was it 5 a.m.? Or was it 3 a.m.? One of those three. It was either 3 a.m., 4 a.m., or 5 a.m. That's when you wake up, go brush your teeth. If they ring the bell and you do not wake up, they are about to whoop your behind, bro. They about to whoop you, bro. You know what I'm saying? You get whooped for not waking up on time. So as soon as the bell rings, it's still night. You got to jump out of bed or you're going to get whooped in these boarding schools. Because we were sleeping inside the school because it's a boarding school. You stay at school. Like, soon as the bell ring, the teacher is coming with sticks to whoop you, bruh. Strong sticks, not some fake stuff. Bamboo sticks, all types of flexible sticks. Bruh, this stuff was straight brutality, bruh. You get whooped. And then you go brush your teeth and all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then let's talk about, like, sometimes you don't even have the supplies. You don't have the toothpaste and all this stuff. So you got to borrow from somebody else. And then it got disgusting. It got filthy. Some of these bathrooms were so filthy in these boarding schools, bro. Somebody took a dump in the middle of the shower. I repeat, somebody took a dump in the middle of the shower. Not once, multiple times. So you go into the shower to shower. I repeat, not inside the toilet. Not inside the shower, bro. People was taking dumps inside the shower, bro. Okay? And you carry your buckets of water. Bro, they had these things called taps or whatever. You get water in the bucket, then you go to the showers, bro. You go inside the shower. If you don't look carefully, you might step into somebody's dump. Okay? And then they had these toilets. These was not your toilets that you sit on and all this stuff. These was called latrines, bro. Like, you squat on the toilet, bro. You squatting on these toilets, okay? It's like a hole in the ground. Think of it as a hole in the ground with, like, think of it like a floor with a hole in it. Think of it like a floor with a small hole in it, with a big hole under the floor where all the dump is being collected from a good amount of students and pedestrians in the school. Think of it like that. You know what I'm saying? And then we used to eat like posho and beans, bro. If you don't know about posho, you are most likely an American person listening to me, because you probably a part of like my American fan base of people who be listening to my messages. So if you don't know about posho, Yeah, you don't know about posho, bro, and beans. We used to eat that almost every single day. It was usually posho and beans every single day of the boarding school. We was eating the same exact thing every single day in the boarding schools. I repeat, we was eating the same thing every single day in the boarding schools. Now, don't get me wrong, there was times where they did rice and beans, but beans never left the map. Beans was immortal. Let me tell you something about these boarding schools in Uganda, bro. The beans were immortal. You was not going to escape the beans. You was going to eat beans every single day. The beans was almost immortal. That's what it felt like. Every single plate, there's going to be some type of beans. Man, you eat so many beans, your stomach start like doing backflips almost. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever ate so many beans, your stomach start doing backflips? And let me tell you something about when these people was taking dumps in the showers. What do you think happens when you eating posho and beans? Hard foods, basically. You eating hard foods all semester long. You eating hard foods all semester long. What do you think happens? These people was taking humongous dumps in the showers, bruh. Bruh, I I had I had to run out the shower, bruh. What? Lord have mercy. This stuff we had to endure, bruh. And then like you get beaten for waking up even 5 minutes later. You get beaten, bro. Because the teacher is like coming fast, ready to whoop everybody, ready to beat everybody. And then you go to class and this and that. And then the class lasts until like, I think it was like 10 p.m. It was either 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. Right? That's when the final class ends in like 10 p.m. So you woke up at 4 a.m. every single day. Was it 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. or 3 a.m.? I don't remember the exact hour. It was most likely one of those three. You waking up early in the morning, like around 4 a.m. And then you gotta go to class all the way until 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. But let me tell you something. Let them catch you trying to doze off in class or trying to sleep in class. You are going to be made go outside at like, you're going to be made go outside at 10 p.m. and they going to make you scrub all the bathrooms, all the floors. Cold, it's cold outside, doesn't matter. They going to make you scrub all the floors. Nasty floors, bruh. Nasty floors with basically no equipment. And then let them catch you with hair on your head, bruh. You will get beaten for having hair on your head. They will be used to make you shave all your hair off. If you don't shave all your hair off, you're gonna get beaten, bruh. Let me tell you something. It was a form of prison. It was most definitely slavery. And that's why when I started the message, I'm like, bruh, how did God even think of creating stuff like this? But hey, that was just how it was. The boarding schools, that's how it was. Now, I don't know if it got better over the years. I pray that it did get better for the people who still going through this stuff, bro. But I left the country, bro. I got on a plane. God got me out of Uganda, bro. God got me on a plane to America, right? Let me tell you something. I was happy as hell, bro. No more getting whooped. No more posho and beans, bro. Okay? No more posho and beans. Do you feel me? No more. Okay? Now, there was a lot of other stuff, bro. Can't even think of everything. Oh yeah, we used to go home after the boarding schools. We would go home for like maybe it was like 3 weeks, 2, 3. I think it was 2 to 3 weeks. We would go home. We would leave the schools now for like 2 to 3 weeks. Then after those 2 to 3 weeks, we go right back into another semester in the boarding schools. And then we stay at school for almost like 3 to 4 months. Every single day we counting down like, bruh, when we gonna go home? Like, that's where we counting down because we basically know we in some type of jail, in some type of prison. So we was like counting down, bro, when we gotta go home. And then you wishing to go home just to be there 2 weeks, then just to go back in the same prison again. Lord have mercy. It was never ending, bro. Like, bro, I'm like, Lord, bro, when is this stuff gonna end? When is this stuff gonna end, bro? But let me tell you something, bro. I wasn't even like suicidal, bro. I wasn't even like thinking about suicide and none of that because we didn't even know what that was in a way. You know what I'm saying? We didn't even know what that was. We didn't even know what depression was or whatever. We knew it was bad, but we ain't even really like knew about suicide and all this stuff. Well, I didn't know, and I'm pretty sure a lot of students and some of my friends, they didn't even know what that was. But if we had that information, bro, hey, bro, I'm glad that God did not tell me no types of information like that. Because all that stuff we was going through, we felt hopeless, bro. We felt like, what's going on, bro? We did feel hopeless in a lot of scenarios. But I'm glad we didn't have no further information other than hopelessness. Because, hey, you probably wouldn't even be listening to this message right here. So God just kept a lot of stuff from our brains. And we ain't even know too much. We just had to endure and thug it out. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of other crazy experiences and story times that I could go into. But, you know, I went off into the message for like 20 minutes for now. I probably tell other stories, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like, oh yeah. And also one more thing. We had these suitcases, bruh. Let me tell you something about these suitcases that you take to the boarding schools. Now, for you, for those who listening and they are from Uganda, bro, they already laughing. They already know what's up. For those of you who listening to this message and you are from Uganda, bro, you already know what I'm about to say. Some funny stuff. You're already laughing already because you know about the suitcases now. It was metal suitcases, bro. And you pack your food, you pack your drinks and your shoes. Hey, bro, you put your shoes, your books, your food, your drinks in one suitcase. Some people was probably kind of richer than others. They most likely probably had 2 suitcases, I think. But for majority of people, I think they just had one, bro. Had a metal suitcase, bro. And you strap this. You basically have a mattress on this bunk bed. I think the bunk beds like had like 3 beds, like one person at the bottom, one person at the top. I think it was usually two level bunk beds, and you have a mattress here, and then you put your metal box suitcase with all your food and all this stuff and all this stuff. And how do you secure your food and make sure nobody else steals it? Let me tell you something. You had to have a padlock, bruh, and a key. And you had to have a padlock and a key, bro, just to secure your food, right? One time we was so hungry, bro, because we ain't had enough food left for the semester, bro. We was tired of eating posho and beans. We had to break into somebody's suitcase who had went home. I don't know if they went home because they was going on a vacation. They went back home if they was sick. We don't even remember. We had to break into somebody's suitcase to get some extra food. You know what I'm saying? These were just this was just, bro, we ran out of food so fast because you got to manage your food. All the food you got is the suitcase. A tiny suitcase, not really too extra large. It was like medium-sized suitcase. You got to manage your food for I think it was like 4 to 5 months. You got to manage all your supplies, your toothpaste, your food, your shoes, everything. You got to manage it for like 4 to 5 months until the semester ends. That's all you got. Yeah, we did have visitation days where your family will bring you some extra food, but that would happen like in the middle of the semester. Still had to struggle, bruh. Irregardless of the visiting day, you still had another 2 months. You still had to struggle because that's sort of you only had the box, bruh. You only had a box, a suitcase box with a padlock on it, bruh. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. I feel bad for breaking into that person's suitcase. I don't know if they even cared, bro. Cause they was home already. The semester was almost over anyways. So hey, they weren't even gonna use that food anyway. You know what I'm saying? But I think we did do that. I don't think it was me who actually broke into it. It was somebody else. And we took their cereal and their milk. Oh, I think it was something like that, bro. I don't even remember, bro. We was hungry as hell. I think that did happen. I don't know if it happened or if it like this happened a long time ago, so my vision might be blurry about my memory might be blurry about that, but I think it did happen, if I'm not mistaken. And um yeah, man, I do repent and apologize for taking that food or whatever. Whatever. I just said that I got. I just said that like I can't even talk. I say I repent and I apologize for taking that person's food or whatever. I said it. I said whatever like I actually don't care. But yeah, I do repent, to God for all like my past mistakes. I did a lot of crazy stuff in it when I was younger. But I do repent for all that stuff to God and stuff because that was the past though. And a lot happened, bro. But I think I'm gonna just leave this story time here, bro. Those boarding schools, straight nightmares, and there was all types of different punishments. I just gave y'all like what, getting whooped, scrubbing floors, and all these nasty walls and stuff. I gave you like, and then the upside down push-ups. Bruh, I think I gave y'all like three of the punishments. There was all types of punishments though. But that's just basically all I wanted to say, man. Peace.